Hey, everybody, and good morning. I'm Greg T. Kevin O'Connor, you are the Senior Special Investigator for Erie Insurance. He is the chair of the New York Alliance Against Insurance Fraud. So I thank you very much for hanging out and starting this with me today. What would you like to just tell our audience right off the bat?
I'd like to give you an idea of what insurance fraud is and what the Alliance's mission is.
Yeah.
Our mission is to raise fraud awareness throughout New York State. Each year, we put a campaign together targeting different areas of insurance to raise everyone's awareness about how costly insurance fraud is and how they're a victim, and try to let them know what insurance fraud is. Insurance fraud is a deliberate deception against an insurance company or an agent for a financial benefit. Simply put, it's a lie to make money.
Right. Now, every year you have the campaign name. So what's this year's campaign name?
This year, we're focused on workers' comp fraud. Our name is Workers' Comp Insurance Fraud. You can do something to stop it.
And what is the cost of insurance fraud?
It's much more costly than most people realize, Greg. Overall insurance fraud costs you, me, and every other New Yorker, every child, every parent, every grandparent, $930 per person a year. And
Wow.
workers' comp insurance alone costs each person $102 a year. So it's a very costly crime.
Wow. So, okay, now when someone gets caught, what happens to them when they finally get caught?
Well, if you get, you're risking jail, you're risking fines, and you're certainly risking benefits you're entitled to. You may have gotten hurt at work and you may need medical treatment and replacement pay under workers' comp as you're out. And if you get caught committing fraud, you could lose your benefits, you can face fines, and you can get arrested and actually do jail time.
So how do we actually stop insurance fraud?
Well, you need to be aware of what insurance fraud is. And if your employee gets injured at work, be honest about your injury. Don't lie. That's what's going to get you in trouble. Fraud's not worth the jail and the fines and the loss of benefits you may face. So be honest about what happened. And if you're an employer and you suspect someone might be filing a fraudulent claim, and actually the accident might be legitimate, but now you suspect the person is staying out of work longer than necessary, or they're seeking medical benefits that aren't related to their injury. If you suspect that, you need to report it to your insurance carrier. Every insurance carrier does have a specialized unit that looks at fraud.
Oh, they do?
Yes, they do. It's called Special Investigation Unit, and they have investigators that handle only suspicious claims. And their goal is not to try to deny someone benefits or anything. It's just to get to the truth of what's going on. So don't hesitate to report it. You're not going to get your employee in trouble if it's a legitimate claim, but it will be looked at to verify that the loss is legitimate.
Is there on a course of a year, how many people get caught or how many people attempt insurance fraud per year? Do you know?
No, I don't actually know the number of how many people. Overall, studies I've heard have said that upward of 10% of all claims have some element of fraud. And that's across the board, not just workers' comp. That would be auto and life claims, et cetera. But it's a significant number of people who do play a dangerous game and they misrepresent what's going on.
This is really, it's baffling. I guess I was always under the impression that people somehow they don't want to work, they want a vacation, so they go, oh, my shoulder's killing me. You go find that doctor, the doctor writes you a little, prescription. He needs to stay home. He can't do this right now. And this is what we're talking about. This is the insurance fraud that we are talking about. Somebody collecting, staying at home and not putting a fair day in. Am I correct? Is this what's happening?
Greg, you are correct. And sometimes it's even worse than that someone may have sustained maybe an injury over the weekend while they're not working, and maybe they don't have medical benefits, or they don't want to file a claim under their own policy. So they go to work and then say they fell or something happened at work, and they'll say it's a work-related injury.
Right.
And again, if you're an employer and you suspect that, or even if you're a co-employee and you hear stories about, if you heard someone say that they committed burglary, you'd probably be appalled.
Right.
I can't believe they're admitting it. But people today, if they hear someone go, I lied to my insurance company, to make extra money, I think sometimes it rolls off people's back and they don't think it's a big deal. They don't recognize they're the victim and they're paying the cost of this. And that fraud is a theft. You're stealing from an insurance company, and ultimately you pay the price. You're going to pay the price in higher premiums and higher cost of goods and services. And honest employees have a hard time, finding insurance that's affordable because of how much fraud is increasing the cost of insurance. You have a fraud on the employer end also.
Right.
You may have an employer who misrepresents how many people they have working for them, or misclassifies what their job is to get a reduced premium. And that too is a theft, and that also is fraud, and that's hurting legitimate employees.
Right. So it's happening on both ends. It's happening everywhere. It's not
absolutely is.
It's not just the employee, it's the employer as well.
Right. And I want to stress, most people are honest. We don't think everyone out there's lying, but unfortunately, the few bad apples are costing all of us significant amount of money. We need to do something about it. And I think through the Alliance, just by raising fraud awareness for everyone, it's a good first step.
Okay. So what's your role in this, Kevin? What are you headed for? What's your goal in this?
Well, my goal as chair of the Alliance is to reach as many people in New York State as possible. So we put on an advertising campaign. You'll hear our radio commercials. You may see us on the internet, on social media. We're advertising. You may see a billboard occasionally or a TV commercial. And we also try to do as many interviews like you and I are doing today. We want to reach as many New Yorkers as possible and let them know about insurance fraud and let them know how to report it also. I think sometimes people hear and go, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it.
Oh, my knee. I think I'm hurt. I can't come to work tomorrow. That's how it works, right? My knee is hurt. That's what I can do. I get to stay home now, right?
That's right. And if we suspect it's fraud, insurance companies are going to look closely at it, and they may be out there watching you to see what's going on. And they'll also have you evaluated by their own doctor. If our doctor says,
I can't use my voice. I can't go on the radio.
There you go.
Kevin, thank you so much. I think this is great. It's a great little eye opener to what's really going on. I got to tell you, I didn't even know, or I guess I shouldn't say I didn't know. I didn't think about my own premiums going up and that I'm being affected by the false claims as well. And I think you really, highlighted that for me today. And I tell you, I don't need my premiums going up anymore.
Your premiums going up, and you're also paying for it in goods and services. The business gets too expensive for the employers, so goods and services go up. So you're paying it on both ends. And I do want to stress to everyone, if you see something going on, there are easy ways to report it. You can call the Alliance at fraud NY. I'm sorry, 844-FRAUDNY, 844 Fraud New York, or online at fraudny.com. We will take that information. We will alert the proper carrier and have them look into it. And if it's a legitimate claim, it's fine. Don't hesitate to report it. It needs to be looked into, and you're doing yourself a favor and everybody in New York State a favor.
All right, Kevin. So thank you again very much. And ladies and gentlemen, again, this is another episode of CEO Unplugged with Kevin O'Connor. He is the chair of the New York Alliance Against Insurance Fraud. Thanks, Kevin, for spending some time here with us today.
Greg, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.